Hey guys,
What's up, Facebook?
Champ Up Chat number 8. No, number 8, number 12.
Yes,
I want
12.
to take away all of our progress here, but
Yeah,
thank you for
that's
joining
a big
us.
jump.
If
Yeah.
you are watching us live, hashtag live. If you're watching us on the replay, hashtag replay. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
So we have an interesting topic tonight, and I feel like people love to talk to you about this topic. And so you were talking to me the other day about a really interesting podcast that a good
Yeah.
friend of ours put out. So tell us a little more
Yeah,
about
good.
that.
Yeah, very interesting podcast. He had a a good friend of ours who's a BJJ practitioner, black belt. He runs his own school, but he also runs the Hey to Gender, the martial culture podcast. So definitely check that out.
Really good.
And the psychologist he was talking to, who also happened to be a black belt BJJ practitioner, was talking about the mind and how the mind is like a loyal, untrained dog, pretty much. And we have a dog here at home, and not that he's untrained, but it really resonated because he was saying that a loyal, untrained dog is their instinct, like your mind, is to protect you and keep you safe no matter what. But keeping you safe doesn't necessarily mean that that's, hey Matt, that doesn't necessarily in safety is obviously if we're in real danger. We talked about this yesterday. If you're faced against a deranged human being, a wild animal, or natural disaster, yeah, that's where you want to be safe. But when it comes to life and dreams and endeavors, and even your own physical culture journey of getting into shape, safety is something that you want to avoid. You want to avoid that comfort zone. So what he said was again really resonated with us was you want to train your brain, right? You want to train your loyal dog to work for you, to be able to put you in positions where you'll step out of that safety zone or move into that zone of being uncomfortable. So, the guys that are in our program, our coaching program, that's what they're going through right now. And, you have to understand that sometimes your mind is doing things to protect you and keep you safe, but it's keeping you from really evolving and growing as a human being. So, think about that. How can how can you take that thought and apply it to whatever you have going on in your own life? How can you speak to yourself in different ways? So that was one of the things that having been a fighter for so many years and a martial artist, we want to be able to change the way we think, right? We want to change our paradigms, change what we're saying to ourselves to keep us moving forward and evolving. Like terms like I can't, I don't know how. That's your brain, again, going back to its default paradigm where it's trying to keep you safe.
So how does that apply to being like a fighter and a martial artist? How do you use that?
So again, what we want to do is be able to, take our default programming, which is again, you don't, especially growing up, we were told as kids, don't do that. You're going to get hurt, time and time again by our parents who are like our loyal, untrained dogs to try to keep us safe. So that programming, unless you consciously make the effort or just have the awareness that that's what's going on in your head, though you want to change the subconscious, programming that's in your head by consciously, telling yourself, I will find a way to make this, fitness journey happen no matter what, no matter how many times, I feel like I'm getting set back, or no matter how many times I feel like it's getting too challenging, I'm going to find a way and not revert back to, again, your old program, which wants to keep you safe, where, oh, this is too hard. This, I failed at this in the past. I might as well just, give up and, deal with it.
Right. So that's kind of like the fighter's mindset. Like, you're obviously not quitting if you're a fighter, or someone more on the champ level, right? You're not going to quit. You're always going to find another way to get it done, to do your best, right? Is that why you brought up the fighters? As fighters, we know that we have to do this.
Yeah, but not from a point where, you feel like you have to do this. Fighters get into the ring, or get into the sport because they have this desire, this passion, this burning want for it. Nobody forces fighters, into their career. So once you can make that, I feel like you can make that distinction of having to do this versus wanting this. That also plays into, you having that mindset that no matter what you're faced with, you can handle it the best way possible if you keep reminding yourself that this is something that you want.
Yeah, I like that. That makes things a lot easier when things are going, like, definitely when bumps are coming along. Like, that you chose to do this. Nobody's forcing you to do it. You chose to do it. So that's going to give you a lot more encouragement when you have to, like, pick yourself back up when things are definitely knocking you around.
Yeah, we talk about this with our, with the guys in our program too. Like, there's two different energies that you want to be aware of: the anabolic energy and catabolic energy, right? And it's not just anabolic for muscle building. I'm talking about the thoughts and the emotions that you want to be aware of. Anabolic obviously is life building, constructive. Catabolic is energy that breaks you down. And once you can become aware of that, that's the energy that you want to lean into when it comes to being a fighter, right?
Yeah.
Or someone just, a champion in life,
Yeah.
Think about how can you build yourself up, evolve, and grow on a daily basis.
Yeah, and you know what? I just had this thought right now that kind of made me laugh. Like, we were doing a review with a client today who just finished up his 12-week foundations program. And he was like, I really liked the mindset a lot more than I thought. And he's an ex-wrestling guy, so he did wrestling all throughout college.
Right.
And I guess he also played football too. And he said, this reminded me more of, like, he said it was very different than what he thought it was going to be, like, about the self-awareness and triggers and things like that, to really to understand what's going on inside of you and why certain things are becoming blocked for you. And he was like, I said, well, what did you think it was going to be like? And he was like, well, I was a little worried that it was going to be more like cheerleading. So, like, this more of a kind of, like, you can do it type of thing. But that's not real, And I just thought it was kind of funny that he thought Chris would be a cheerleader, because he's never been like that in the gym. Like, sometimes you see other coaches, like fight coaches, that they're calling their fighters champ, and, they just started training like a week before or something. And, they're just giving sometimes people like this false, like, lifting them up really high really soon to give them like a false sense of security. And that's actually the total opposite of Chris. Like, he is going to give it to you straight. So anyway, I just thought I would mention that, because you were talking all about this anabolic energy and catabolic and stuff, and how we couldn't be further from cheerleading. So, and just like motivation and things like that. So it's not what's going to help you for the long run and be like sustainable if somebody just cheers for you.
Well, and you mentioning that too, like he definitely went through a process of shifting from, back in his wrestling days, he felt like he just had to do all this stuff to make the weight, to please his coach, and to make sure he was, winning as much as he could on the mats. But now, over the years, obviously, being so far removed from that wrestling mentality where you have to grind and do all this stuff to be proficient at your sport. Now he's shifted into, that want to. Like, he feels like not only has it built him and his physical abilities, his mental capabilities, but it's also helped him out, in work. It's helped him thrive, as a writer, and it's helped him, helped his, the energy that he brings to his family as a family man. So
Yeah, it's awesome.
yeah, so I think we went off in a bunch of different
Yeah.
directions. I think because it's Friday.
It's Friday, just going all over the place, but this was fun. I enjoyed this.
Yeah. But again, hopefully, this, what we were chatting about and bouncing back and forth with, it could move you forward in your journey. And again, if you're a fella that's stuck out there and you're looking to get back into, your own physical culture and build some grit, message, and we'll get you back in the fight. Champ up.
All right, see you guys.